Your mind is a very, in its original form, a bright speck without any discoloring at all. But the way you made use of this consciousness has created defilements in the consciousness. The defilements which you have created in the consciousness are the things that you are trying to get rid of now. And the mind, in performing the functions according to the defilements you have created, is a weak mind. It is the weakness that maintains these defilements. Weakness in the concentration. The mind is weak, so to say, cannot fix itself to one point and seriously think about it in depth. You pick anything on the surface, and such things that lead you to create either an attachment or aversion. You have also learned about impermanence, about unsatisfactory nature of things, and about non-continuity or soullessness. These are not qualities found on the surface in anything existing in this world. Opposite to these three things are permanence, satisfaction, and continuity. That is what your sense bases display to you. That is what you experience through your sense bases. And it is the acceptance of these false views or false assessment of things that has completely misled you. And the mind is so formed now, performing its activities on the surface, believes these situations, believes that everything in this world is permanent, is satisfactory, and continue to exist. Also, your bases are also so made. In other words, the base can only see something on the surface, and it sees something permanent, something satisfactory, something continuing. Your eyes shows you that. Your nose experiences sounds in that way, or let's say experiences noises in that way. Your ear experiences sounds and noises as permanent, as something existing and something satisfactory. So are the experiences you gain through other six sense bases. But in reality, what is existing truthfully is something quite opposite. None of these experiences are permanent. They are all impermanent. They rise and pass away. The attachment you created, thinking that they are all satisfactory, wholesome, and brings you some result in the way of satisfying yourself. That's also a false impression you have created. When something is impermanent, constantly changing, there is no fixed nature in itself. How could one be satisfied with a changing situation like that? Because you have taken the opposite view, accepted a wrong impression, or create a wrong impression about that object, that it is something permanent, that you gain satisfaction out of that. You also know, and you know now, and through science it has been proved amply, that there is nothing existing in this world for a fraction of a second in one condition. Everything is changing. Nothing permanent in this world. And that is the truth you have to realize. And that truth can only be realized by a mind that has been transcended into a higher state. Because the performance of activities by a consciousness which is undeveloped, that consciousness is subjected to any illusion created. Any false outside view, the consciousness is ready to accept without going deep into it. Thereby, the existence of the human being, without giving deep thought to what he experiences, merely accepting what he found on the surface, is completely a life of deception, created by the six sense bases. Now, once you have developed your concentration to a high degree, that's the fourth absorption level, your mind is there, sharp, can penetrate into anything, realistically understand the true nature of objects that attracts the sense bases. Those six sense bases, brothers and sisters, experience six different things. They are all experienced by one power, and that is your consciousness. Now once you have developed your consciousness to a high degree, it is that developed consciousness ultimately that will see the true aspect of things. And what it sees will be, everything in this world is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and no continuity, soulless. That is the truth. These truths, these realities are not observed on the surface. Why can't you observe these realities on the surface? Because the equipment provided, such as the eye, ear, nose, body, mind, and power to think, are all not powers that could lead you to a deep study of anything. They only pick things on the surface. That is the strength of the equipment you are supplied. Therefore, what you do is, when the sense bases attract an object, you just on the surface create a thought for it to experience something about that object. This equipment that is given to you, like the eye, ear, nose, body and mind, they are all equipment for you to make use of for the continuity in this cycle of births, making you always a false impression that this is substantial, this is permanent, and this is the thing that you realistically observe with your sense bases. If the true impression was created in your mind, that all that you observe or experience through the sense bases are impermanent, unsatisfactory and soulless, you would not continue to exist in this world, because you see the deception created all around you, and you also then realize that you also live in deception. There is an instance where the human being, or the so-called the worldling, has to live in a created world. The creation is for his existence. The creation is for his complete deception. In other words, he has been not shown the true state of things, but made to believe something that is not existing, something not true, something false, something created to mislead him, something created for him to be led by the nose to continue his existence in his cycle of births. The very nature that has been created as a worldling is not true. There is no person as such living in this so-called combination of mind and matter. It is purely a combination of mind and matter, where reaction in the matter is as a result of the creation of a thought. We have been subjecting ourselves to this deception for the last so many births. And the revelation made by Buddha 2,600 years ago gave us an idea what we are and who we are, to realistically understand the surrounding in a true manner. And the realistic understanding we have created now is that everything in this world is impermanent, unsatisfactory and soulless. That is what Buddha taught. But merely Buddha taught this, that teaching by itself cannot save you from where you are. This has to be realized by yourself. And it is this realization that will ultimately lead you to liberation. Therefore, he showed us a path, a clear path for us to follow. Buddha not only realized the truth, but Buddha also realized the path one has to follow in order to liberate himself from this cycle of births, in this deception he is in. And that path, as I told you, is virtue, concentration and wisdom. When you think of wisdom, sometimes in the ordinary mind one would think of wisdom about all the things that are existing in the world. So much so that you would know the beginning of the tree and the end of the tree, beginning of the being and end of the being, such things. Everything is there in that wisdom of yours. There is a vast wisdom that you can imagine. But Buddha did not make you to cultivate a thing like that. He found the key to the realization of the truth. And that key he found is that his realization that everything is unsatisfactory. That if something is unsatisfactory, that there is no permanent feature in that. Impermanent, unsatisfactory. And also realize that there is nothing continuing. Everything is subject to constant change. These are the three truths he realized. That is the wisdom he realized. And that is the very wisdom that enabled Buddha to ultimately realize the Four Noble Truths. That is the wisdom that solved the problem of a being existing in the world. That realistic aspect of things indicated clearly that mind and matter are causally creating things, and one is made to believe that there is somebody within him. But this wisdom which he gained, which dawned to him, showed him the true nature of things, that there is no being as such in this is a performance of mind and matter. Matter reacting to a directive given by the mind, and that is causally created, and they arise and pass away. These are the realistic aspects of things. And in this path which we follow, you are made to see the true nature of things at stages, not automatically. You are made to live in this truth and practice the truth. And the realization dawns to you step by step, so that you will be able to get rid of the defilements or the fetters that tie you down to this false existence we were subject to in the past. That is the nature of Dhamma. The Dhamma is not a thing that somebody introduced into your mind as such from outside. It is something we have ourselves find out. Like a person digging the earth and finding a gem buried in the earth. And he realized and he possesses that gem after much effort. In the same way, brothers and sisters, the truth is not found on the surface. We have accepted what is found on the surface and got misled. We have suffered enough in lives and in births and deaths. And now we have reached a stage when we will not believe what is found on the surface. And we impressively know and understand that there is something more than what is displayed on the surface. And that is the truth.